Hello, good evening. How you day? How are you? Welcome to another session of Ask the Doctors, a health online program holds every Sunday by 8 p.m. West African time. My name now Frederick Unubohai. You can see my name here. They speak. My name now Frederick Unubohai, and how are you? Where are you watching me from? Now, today we are talking about first aid, the basics. So today we did discuss about first aid, and the whole essence of today's discussion, now to just teach you small thing where you need to know. But before we start, where you dey watch me from? Oh yeah, let's go. Good evening. I see you. Good evening. Who they watch me on YouTube? Yes, we did live on Facebook. We did live on YouTube. Yes, good evening. Edmond, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Good evening. I see you, Edmond. Laurencia. Is it Laurentia or Laurencia? Anishi Laurencia, how are you? Good evening. Who else again to watch me? Welcome. Tell me where you they watch me from. So tonight we they talk about first aid. You know why? A lot of people no really know waiting to do when emergency happen, especially for house. Or okay, so what I'm going to try to do is I'll try to mix the pidgin English and the other one. See you get, yeah. I go try to mix them. Somebody go day house, emergency go happen. Instead of me them do something, they will come, they shout, they cry, hey, help me, oh, hey. Shouting will not solve the problem. You have to do something. And before I continue, Dr. Israel, the co-host, will join us very soon. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, Ukeria Geoffrey is watching from Cameroon. Okay. Boy T Adesanya is watching from Ijebu Ode. Good evening. Nancy. Nancy is watching me from my name. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Okay. So tonight we are talking about first aid today. If this is your first time on the page, every Sunday by 8 p.m. West African time, we have certain topics. Sometimes we do question and answer. So today we are talking about first aid. We are discussing first aid, the basics of first aid. So we would not take any question that is not related to the topic. Do you understand, Abby? Very, very good. Now, don't forget, share this video. Share the video, invite your friends, invite your loved ones, let them come and learn today because we are teaching a whole lot of stuff tonight. So share this video. If you know that you have done first aid before, tell me. Good evening. Nancy is watching me from where? Nancy is watching from Umwa here. Oma Sunday, good evening. Cyprian Onyi from Enugu State. Okay, good. Oh yeah, talk to me. What about those on YouTube? People on YouTube, when I just they look me, drop a comment, drop your comment. Let's see your comments. Ensure that you subscribe. If you're not subscribed, you know if you drop comments on YouTube. So now we're talking about first aid tonight. How many people don't do first aid before? You don't do first aid for house. What do you understand by the word first aid? Whenever first aid, you hear that word, what does it mean to you? Tell me. Oh yeah, talk to me. Quick. I'm giving you free information that can help you in times of emergency. And we're not coming here to do gossip. This is information that will help your family, your wife, your husband, your brother, your sister, your babe, your boyfriend. Very important information. First aid. Now we won't give you tonight. And what to do. Dr. Israel, good evening. How you doing?
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Yes, good evening. Happy Sunday. Welcome. Now, when you watch Nigerian film, when somebody fall down, hmm, you go see them, they pour the person water. Is it right or wrong? Is it right or wrong? So tonight we are talking about first aid. Who don't do first aid before? Tell me, what do you understand by the word first aid? I have Dr. Israel in the house. Juliet on YouTube, watching me from Germany. Okay, who do we have here? We have Esther. Okay, let's see this comment before I hand over to Dr. Israel. First aid is the first treatment given to a person before taking the person to the hospital. Okay, Dr. Israel, over to you.
Good evening, everybody, once again. Um, first aid. First aid, as this person already defined them for us, is as easy as that. That are the first care. I used to say the first care because anybody can actually give first aid when you sabi do first give first aid. And in fact, many of us don't give first aid in different form. Maybe we never know say na first aid now we dey do as at that time. So the first care when you give to anybody when you get issue, emergency problem, or when they sick, before you either take and go hospital or before professional or expert come take over from where you stop. And those are now that they call first aid. For Nigeria now, before you take and go hospital, because we are not sure before you call professional or ambulance, may come for Nigeria, it go take. So now for you to take the person or get any means to carry that person go hospital. So whatever thing when you do for that person, whatever way when you do for that person to take save that person life, eh? Before you take and go hospital or before the arrival of any professional, now that one that they call first aid.
You hear waiting Dr. Israel talk, whatever you do to help that person before you take the person to the hospital or before professional medical intervention, medical professionals come on ground, nine be first aid. And anybody fit do first aid. But wetin we realize be say a lot of people no get knowledge. They no know wetin to do. And sometimes when you watch Nigerian film, Nollywood, when somebody fall for ground, person collapse, the next thing they begin to pour the person water. It is wrong. It is very, very wrong. Water will not save that fellow. There are things you can do. So let's start like this. And Dr. Israel mentioned that so many of us don't do first aid for house. But sometimes, instead of doing something for the person, some go leave the person, they will just they shout, and that person feel pass from there, die, go. Now there are many, many medical emergencies that can happen at home, that can happen at home. So many types, like bleeding. Somebody feel they bleed, like somebody collapse, the person faints, or the person they choke. So there are many types of emergencies, and because of this discussion today, we no go talk everything, but we go just try touch one or two very important ones, and then we go take your questions. Is that okay? So let me hand over again to Dr. Israel and to set the ball rolling. And then if you do watch us, share this video, invite your friends, share and invite your friends. Thank you very much. Dr. Israel, over to you.
Okay, Dan, we don't already defend first aid, and as Dr. Fred talk, we get many emergency where we cause us to do first aid. And remember when I started, I thought say most of us don't do first aid in one way or the other, but we may not even know say na first aid now we do. So when you see say somebody, but sometimes some of our first aid is a very very funny first aid, sha. But to some extent, remember I say anything when you do for person to stay save that person life as at that first time it can be termed as first aid. So I want to just talk one simple example. When you just say somebody body they hot, very hot, and maybe you get pikin body they hot well, you can't carry water and when not too cold, come put for cloth, come use and clean the body, make the body calm down. That one na first aid because you just help to prevent convulsion for that pikin. So that a part of first aid. After you do that one, some of you come carry and go hospital. Why some people go still do wetin they will feel like doing. But for that, for you to even take use that cloth clean their body when they hot, you don't do small first aid. So Dr. Fred don't tell us say we go just narrow our talk to maybe few things, choking, bleeding, and somebody where they unconscious, or when faint. So I go start with bleeding. If I finish bleeding, Dr. Fred will come talk choking, bash choking. Then maybe I'll come back and we'll come talk about CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, down for unconscious patients. So for bleeding, there are two types of bleeding. We get the one what they call external bleeding. That is the bleeding when you they see with your own eyes. And the one what they call internal bleeding, the one when you not go fit see with your own eyes. So the first aid most of the time when we give now for mainly for external bleeding. So once it come to internal bleeding, I beg carry that the first aid when you go fit give to that person now to carry brush that person go hospital. That na the first aid when you fit give for that person because may you not cut it say you rather may you chook may you cut that place where the blood they make the blood come outside. They work like that. So now for you to just carry the person go hospital, that's the first aid you can do for person where you get internal bleeding. So for external bleeding, there wetin you go see, and a person cut himself, you see say blood they come out. Blood they come out. If the place na very simple cut, very small cut, na dey there. But the only thing what you need to do for that person na to apply pressure for that place. Just use something, press the place for a long time. When you press the place for a very long time, most of the time that bleeding will stop on its own. Just like the picture when we dey try show now, so you can see say the person use something till they press the hand of that of another patient. It means say that person he get cut for that hand. So the only thing when you need to do for that person, na to apply pressure. When as you dey apply pressure, you dey try to stop the bleeding, you dey try to stop that rush of blood. And as you dey try to do that one, all the platelet, all those things wey dey cause clot, blood clot, go dey work small small. And with time, that bleeding go stop. That one na if the cut dey very tiny. But when it tough, if the cut dey big, wetin you need to do? Okay, another thing you need to do now to sometimes you fit use bandage, take bandage that place. When you bandage that place with bandage, you carry the person go hospital because sometimes there are so many things we not get for us when we go for fit use they do small things for that hand. But because we not get those many things, the best thing to do is to look for something to cover that hand with pressure, like bandage the hand well so that make the blood not the throw away well. So that when you carry and reach hospital, they go come fit do the remaining things, maybe come suture the hand, come give and drip, make it and all that. So another thing when you officially do, then be say, if you come see say that place where it cut, now place where you no go fit cover, maybe now place where you no go fit use bandage tie. The thing when you fit do, we get okay that one now bandage now when they tie leg, and that one na still method of first aid. So when you tie the leg like that, sometimes the wind just see dey there now for you to come carry that person go hospital. That tying just help to reduce the blood loss, how the blood still dey loss from the person body. Now it just help do so that when he reach hospital, they fit do all that thing. So another thing in the case of say injury see the person leg or hand, when come be say you no go fit tie that place, you get wetin we dey call tourniquet. You fit use anything to do the tourniquet, you fit use rope. You go tie above where that cut dey. When you tie above, abeg for hand and leg, they get different time when you need to take tie them reach. If you don dey get to that time, abeg you need to lose that wetin you tie put so that make blood still enter every other part of the hand. Because as you dey tie above where injure, you dey reduce the blood flow to every other part of that hand or leg. So they get hour. For hand na 1 hour, for leg na 2 hours. So once you tie the hand, maybe above where the injury dey, you tie am, e go help to reduce the blood wey go dey flow go that place when e suppose to dey throway, and when the person suppose to dey lost. So but you need to time yourself when you tie that hand. so that when e don dey reach 1 hour, you need to lose am so that make blood still flow, because every other part of that hand dey lost blood in that during that period. So that na something wey you go fit still do to take help protect that person, make e no dey lost blood well well. Another thing, if the person go fit take fluid, if the person go fit take water, just like wetin Dr. Fred just show us so, na I just explain so. Another thing, another thing wey you go fit still do for that patient, you try to dey give that patient enough fluid make e dey take. You fit give am as far e go fit swallow. If you go fit swallow, you fit give am enough fluid make e dey take, so that make e help reduce, that one go still help reduce the number of blood when that person dey lose as at that time. As you dey do all this one, dey carry this patient dey go hospital. No be say you say abeg I don tie that place, if the blood go stop make e dey house. No, as you dey do this one, know say you dey carry this patient dey go, this person dey go hospital, so that make specialists do the work when e suppose do, because na something cut, na something if dey make that blood dey come out well well, when you no fit apply small pressure make e stop. So because you no fit apply small pressure make e stop, they need to either suture the hand or sew the hand, so that make everything for go well. So that one are some of the first aid when you fit do for bleeding. Now if na head, na the person for get injury, the same thing, you need to bandage the head, use something take tie the head. Even though you no get bandage, you fit use cloth, clean cloth abeg, take tie the head, then carry the person go hospital. So there are some things wey you need to know when person don dey lost blood. You see say some of the person fit come dey faint, some of them go dey weak, some people say their body fit come dey hot. If na internal bleeding, that place when the bleeding dey fit dey pain the person well well, and e go swell. If na external bleeding, the one wey you dey see, the place go still dey pain the person, but e no swell. But for internal bleeding, that place fit dey swell and e go dey pain the person seriously. So when you see, and you know say e must follow trauma, and when we say trauma, e must follow injury. Say somebody either hit the person, or the person fall from up, or the person get accident, or anything, any accidental case, and go fit lead to all this bleeding. So when you notice that, even when the bleeding no dey come out, and you just say the person dey complain of one place, say dey pain me, you look at the place don dey swell, abeg just carry that person go hospital, because if it be say na internal bleeding, neither person don get for that time. Now for external bleeding, I don tell us some things wey we fit do for that person to help reduce bleeding, so that the person no go dey lost too much blood. So these are now so many, you fit see so many things wey Dr. Fred just put for there. There are so many ways wey you go fit take reduce bleeding. Another thing is that you fit raise that infected part where cut, you fit raise am up. You fit raise am up pass the other part of the body. When you raise am up, e go still help to reduce the number of bleeding wey dey pour. So now make, if somebody dey bring out blood from nose, they go tell you say raise your head up, make the blood not dey too through. Even when they put cotton wool for the nose, to make sure say yes, the blood dey e stop for some time. I think these are some things when I fit talk where you need to know about bleeding. Dr. Fred, if you get any other thing to add, you fit add. But I think this is all I can think.
Okay.
I can say.
Wetin I go just add. I know you don't talk almost everything to do. Wetin we want me you know be say listen carefully. Everything wey we talk for here now first aid for house. Listen, first aid for house. I get why I want to talk about this one now. When somebody get bleeding for hand, you put pressure, just like what Dr. Israel talk, you put pressure, you take the person, go hospital. The person get wound for leg, they bleed. You tie that place, you take the person to the hospital. We no talk say for everybody where they bleed, you carry give the person water, make it drink. Do you understand? Because when somebody gets problem, bleeding or something where they severe like that, doctors go decide, oh, we are not giving this person water because of certain reasons. If now bleeding from the leg, just little bleeding, and the person they bleed, If you talk, say, okay, you can drink water. Do you understand? But when it gets to the hospital, now the doctors go decide, say, we not go give this person water because we no want make anything enter the person belly because we might likely take the person to the theater. Do you understand? We no talk, say, for everybody where they bleed, go and give them water to drink. It's very careful we address this. Why should you stop bleeding? Because if you no stop the bleeding, the person feel lose all the blood for the body, feel come poof. Do you understand? That is why we show you this picture where they here. And Dr. Israel tell you about two types of bleeding. You get the one where you feel see with your eye. You get the one where you no go see inside the person go they bleed inside and you no go see. So all we are trying to tell you is that nobody say you go form hero. Try stop the one where you PC and take the person to the hospital. For the internal bleeding, there is nothing you can do. Your job is to ensure that you quickly take the person to the hospital. Um, okay, that is it. Welcome. If you just they join us, wait till we they give you here. We they give you life-saving information. If you end this live session now, tomorrow, if you see somebody we need them, we don't dash you golden information. So help us share this video and invite your friends. Now the next thing we want to talk about na choking, choke. Somebody they chop food. As the person they chop food, next thing the person come talk say I no fit breathe, you no fit breathe. The food hook am for neck. Wetin you go do? Now to give the person water. Sometimes even when you give the person water, you dey worsen the problem because wetin dey choke the person don enter the wrong place. So you need to remove that thing for inside the person airway. If not, oxygen no go enter the person lungs. And if the person no get oxygen, e fit affect the brain, person fit move. Maybe they chop groundnut, children they eat groundnut, small thing, groundnut fit enter the wrong place. Person go come dey cough, I no fit breathe, I no fit breathe. No be to give the person anointing oil, no be to dey shout or dey give the person water. Wetin you need to do now to try to comot that for the lungs, the airway. And how do you do that? So I wan show you something because if we just talk today, you no go understand. So I wan show you how they do am. Oh yeah, look your screen. E get something wey dey your screen. I believe you dey see am, abi. It's called the Heimlich maneuver. Make it appear. Oh, you don't see am? Very good. If you dey see wetin dey your screen, tell us I dey see am. If you not dey see wetin dey show for your screen, talk say I not dey see am. Oh yeah, quickly, let us know so that we know that everybody. E get why we dey show you these pictures, because if we just talk am, you go dey use your brain dey imagine am. But if we show you the picture, it go make more sense to you. So when the person chop and the person no fit breathe, wetin you need to do be say, no be to cry, go the person back. You see the person wey hold am for there, you see the hand, you see where the person put the hand. The person just put the hand underneath the stomach. You see am for there, he put the hand there. And then the person dey apply force. That force na to push that thing wey dey inside. I dey try look for more pictures to show you. Get another one again wey I go show you now. Na to push am go up so that the thing wey dey inside, e go come out, e go push out. So e dey use pressure, force, push for the belle, and wetin dey the throat, that pressure go push am out, go come out. If you no do am, that person fit choke. And if the person choke, the person fit choke on top the food. E fit choke. From there, e go fit poof. Now I wan show you another one. May you see am. Get wetin I wan show you quick. The pictures plenty for here. Make I see whether e go come out. The pictures just plenty, and I dey try look for this one. Make I see whether it go appear on your screen. E no easy to send all these pictures. You get one wey be say na man dey there. Let's see. Okay, I don't see am. Very good. Okay, very good. Okay, before I hand over to Dr. Israel, make it add 1 or 2 points again. See this one wey dey appear for your screen now. You don't see am. This na man. This particular person, he don't almost collapse. He don't almost weak. and the man hold am for belle, e dey put pressure. Listen carefully. In emergency, you don't need to shout and start crying. Crying no go save the person. The kabash, Holy Ghost fire. It's good to pray, but you need to do something. So wetin you need to do na wetin we dey call the Heimlich maneuver. Everybody, you need to know how to do am. Here no be class, na online we dey. If not, you suppose to try am. You go put your hand for the person, go the person back. You go hold am, and then you use force. As you use the force, you dey push from the belle up, so the person go fit cough out the thing. You go do am 1, 2, 3, 4, do am like 5. Now for babies, quickly, for babies, make I show you again the screen. Invite your friends, oh, make dem come see, oh, wetin we dey give you here. Pikin. Next thing, pikin come dey choke. Pikin no. What you should do na to turn that baby. Oya, look at the screen. Can you see the screen? You turn the baby upside down, and then you knack just near the neck side. You knack with your hand. See this part of your hand. No be here. Oh. Here. You knack like that. As you dey knack am, wetin dey the pikin throat, the airway, the trachea go come out. Pikin go cough am out. As the pikin cough am out, pikin go come dey breathe well. Dey breathe well. That is how to manage choking. E clear abi e no clear? Dr. Israel.
Okay, and Dr. Fred don tell us many things about choking. Mona know say one thing, choking na children na dey always dey affect. Na make most of the time when children dey grow, we dey tell na Mona dey try, Mona no dey give them all these grain like groundnuts, groundnut, all those one grain things. But na those things dey quick enter the wrong part. You know, you just see small pikin wey go eat rice, the next thing you just say the cough or sneeze, you can't see say one small seed of rice come out from his nose. Yeah, na choke, the pikin na choke, e choke for that point. But you should know say the body get how they do it things. They try to also help us help us remove wetin not suppose enter there. So wetin happen na be say, because the gullet where food they pass and the trachea where hair where would they breathe they follow, they close. Sometimes when person they eat, when wetin suppose cover not cover, the thing fit go enter that place, the airway where air suppose they enter, food fit go enter there, and wetin go happen immediately that food enter, the person go dey irritated. And another thing wey go happen na be say the body go try to remove those things from there, na go make the person dey cough and sneeze immediately. So when you notice say the person dey cough, they cough seriously and sneeze, not do any, no worry am, make sure say e cough, make sure say e cough, because sometimes as they cough, it go cough that thing out. It is when you can notice say the person not come fit cough again, don't they? Not fit cough again, or you notice say he not fit cough and he not fit breathe. So there's a kind do then you need to come do that maneuver to push out the thing come out. But if the person they cough, you can actually just support by tapping the back, and whatever did that airway go come out. Now that one I just say make I add join now. I beg for the truth, pikin, not go blow, not go give some pikin blow for the back, can't go break the the spinal cord. Now with do one with ease, do one with ease, and you go always come out. You remember those time when I was give small pikin food, for mothers when they you or people where don't feed children. You know, say sometimes when you carry them sit down, you can't tap the back, go down, tap the back until the pikin bear. You can say, okay, this pikin don't. Now almost the same thing, but this one you need to add a little force to it, so that the thing fit come out. The thing fit come out. Okay, now
Wait, Dr. Israel, before we go the
I,
last one, if you do watch us, all we ask from you, share, just click on the share this video, the live session, share them. This way, you too, you are saving people's life. Make them come watch because it go day bad. Say tomorrow, somebody where this information is supposed to help, the person no see them because even you, self, you know, share, give the person. We, they share free knowledge, give you. You, waiting you need to do to save other people. Click on the share button. You go tell you know they stingy with share. Nobody say we they ask for funds from anybody. That way, we know say you they appreciate what we they do by sharing to other people. So right now, if you share the live session, comments shared, make we know say you don't share. And then when we don't finish, we will come take your questions. But remember, any question when not they related to this topic, we not go take them. Any question we will go take now question related to first aid. If you ask us anything outside first aid, no vex. We no go take them because we won't try to manage our time. So Israel, over to you.
okay, thank you. Now I will quickly rush the third one because we don't dey go out of time. The third one is CPRO. Wetin be CPRO? CPRO mean cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Mean say um emergency intervention wey you go do to help the heart and the lungs to work well. I think that's the simplest way I can I go fit give that definition. Resuscitation just mean emergency treatment wey you go do. Cardio na heart, pulmonary na the lungs. So cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So the simple treatment wey you go give anybody wey e be say e dey get e no dey breathe well. E no dey breathe well. So we dey call am cardiopulmonary resuscitation. And na one very important thing that wey go fit help a lot of persons. When you see say somebody just dey waka near you, e slump, e fall, cardiopulmonary resuscitation go fit help bring that person back to near life before you carry that person go hospital when e go come dey, when the doctors or whoever there go come treat am, come heal the person very well. So make we just dive into am small. So cardiopulmonary resuscitation, we get wetin we dey call Dr. ABCD when we dey use. Dr. ABCD. DRO ABCD. It's as simple as that. Now the D for there stands for danger, RO stands for response. I go explain wetin all this thing mean, but make I just list them first. D stands for danger, R stands for response, A na for airway, B na for breathing, C na for circulation and compression, while D na for defibrillator or the use of drug, as the case may be. Now, make we go back. As I don't list wetin all those things mean. Make I come dey explain them one after the other. D for there, when I say danger, you need to check for danger for yourself and for the person where you want go resuscitate. Now, which case we dey do resuscitation? Now, when you see person when don faint or e slump, e fall down, e no dey breathe. Now those persons we dey do cardiopulmonary resuscitation for. If you go accident place where accident for take place, you need to dey careful for people wey you go do cardiopulmonary resuscitation for, because not be everybody that they do am for. If person wey get fracture for the e get fracture, let me say bleeding through the nose, or e get injury to the abdomen and all that, you go dey very careful in doing that for a reason, because you don't know whether e get fracture to the rib. Make you not go say you want help person, as you want do the compression, you go break the remaining rib wey never break finish, which wey go come go injure the lungs. Instead of treating the person, you come see say na you can't even cause the death for the person. So many people, when you go fit do this, and people when you notice they slump, they fall, and they get just people when get cardiac issues mainly. So now you go actually want to do this thing for, or people when you notice say they fall, they faint for your presence. Yes, you go still fit do am for them. So when I say you check for danger, you need to check for danger for yourself and for the person. The danger for yourself now to be sure say who you want go help, not be e no wan trick you, come collect your belongings and collect your phone or come put gun for your head later, because things dey happen for this world. Then danger for the person na to look around the person where the person for fall. Whether anything dey there wey go injure the person or anything dey there wey go cause problem for the person, so that you go actually remove those things. Another danger na wetin you wear for body. These things wey you wear for body, they dey tight, too tight. Like person wey tie belt wey tight, wear wristwatch wey tight, chain wey tight, or wear anything wey dey very tight to the person body. You need to actually relieve those things. Before I continue, make I also remind you say cardiopulmonary resuscitation, e good make two people dey do am, but sometimes in the case wey be say na only you you go need to do am by yourself. And before you even start all these many things, or at the process of you checking for danger, abeg you go try to dey make call, to dey call people. You must call for help, so that as you dey do those ones, if na the process when who go come carry the person go hospital go quickly come, make una carry am go hospital so that he go survive. Or if ambulance dey around you wey you think say you can actually call the ambulance number, they go come carry the person, make dem for continue from where you stop. You go call, you need to dey make all those call. So when you dey make the call, it is good you put that call for loudspeaker, because you no go fit dey put am for ear while you dey do those things, so that you can drop the phone for ground. You dey know say the phone dey ring while you continue wetin you dey do. You dey do everything together. You no dey do one wait for one. So you don look for danger, notice say this person no dey danger, you yourself no dey danger. You need to call the person for response to see whether the person go respond to you. You need to call. If you no know the person name, anything wey you think say you fit take call the person, how you think say you fit take call the person wey go respond, you fit even tap the person to find out if the person go respond. If the person no respond, you will want check down an arrow now, right respond. The next thing you want check for hair, where you want to see whether this person dey get hair or whether they breathe. So you make sure say the place dey hairy. You want check in nose, whether any dirty dey there, so that you go clear the place. As you dey check, and you dey also dey check whether the person dey breathe. And how you dey do this one, you try put your ear for the person nose. As you dey put the ear for your person nose, you dey look directly to the person chest, whether e dey raise up and down, that na breathing. And you dey try to check the person pulse for im hand, whether e dey beat. So that if the pulse no dey beat, you know say, man, this person don almost go. Or if e dey beat normal, you go see know wetin what to do, because not be every case you go want just quickly dey press the person chest. If the pulse dey normal, dey breathe well, sometimes na to just put that person in one position, before you know, the person go wake up. But when you notice say you touch the pulse no dey, e no dey breathe, or the breathing when you dey hear be like say e dey snore like like, and e no dey do am reach down, but e dey up like person wey go soon die. That kind of person you need to go further. So you don check for breathing, and you don check say the airway dey. The next thing I say na that one you dey check in hand, na circulation you also look for, whether blood dey circulate for everywhere. Then the next thing wey you wan do na to compress the heart. Na to compress the heart. Why would they compress the heart? Before I will tell you how many compression we go give for that heart. And remember, say this time, as you dey do all these things, you don already dey make call. They call people wey go help you carry this person go hospital, or you dey call ambulance, make you come carry the person go hospital, where you go receive the correct care. Everything wey you dey do na first aid, just to make sure say this person dey alive till expert come, or till una reach hospital. So the reason why we dey even dey do this compression, na be say, because this person don stop, his heart no dey pump blood again, this blood no dey reach his brain. So, and because blood no dey reach the brain, oxygen no dey reach the brain, so the brain go don dey shut down. And so that one na one thing wey we no want, because once the brain shut down, this person don go. This person don go. So, and we no want that. And we don't want that. Even sometimes the person fit not die, fit not go, but it go many part of the body, many of the organ fit damage, because oxygen and the food wey the brain need e no reach the brain. So many of the organ fit go if the person no finally go. So we no want that. Na make we dey do the maneuver. So wetin we go do na be say we put our two hand, put one on top the other one, and compress the chest. Abeg, no be the belle that dey compress, no be the belle. Just as that hand be, na so we go take put the hand. And you see say na the chest e put am the middle of the chest. I don say make I not talk this one. I don see one, I go talk am. I don see one video like that wey be say they wan do CPR na the belle na dem dey press. I almost laugh there. So not be belle, abeg, na the chest. Na the chest. So wetin you do when you decompress the chest, you give, if na only you dey do am, you go give 30 compression, 30 compression with 2 live breath. 2 live breath, e mean say you, and the way when they take dey do that live breath, you go need to as I want to explain this one now. Dr. Fred, help me out for here.
Now to give the person two breaths from the mouth. Well, a lot of people don't watch movie. Person faint, you go push the chest, then you go breathe 2 times inside the person. Airway, make the oxygen from your own mouth enter the person, because the person no fit breathe. But maybe we try see whether we go fit show picture. Maybe they go fit understand.
Okay. Now, as Dr. Fred talking, what they call a live breath, you go breathe into the nose and the real case is supposed to be into the nose and the mouth of the person together, and you try put on your nose. If you get what they use, but because now mouth to mouth, so you most of the time we just advise to the mouth of the person. Some people, because of many things when people they talk, you want kiss and this, and because of so many things, they try to avoid a lot of things. So sometimes we go even say you can put a clean cloth and do it, so that nobody go think say you get any interior motive for doing that. Yes, in the process of doing, the person feel not think after you don't go ahead, that be the live breath. So you go need to breathe to the person mouth, and as you breathe, you start to check say the chest they raise up, and the chest they raise up. That one will show say yes, the breath when you breathe inside, they really reach the person chest. So as you do that one, you breathe 2 times, then you go back and compress the heart for the chest again 30 times. But if now be 2 people when they do one, you go do 15, and the person go breathe into the person. The second person go breathe into the person one live breath. And while you do 15 compression. So you will continue to do this thing until the person either come back, or motor come when una take carry the person go hospital, or ambulance come when go collect the person from your hand. Now the D for the inside when they call defibrillator, and most of the time we not go get that one for where we dey, but you get, if una don watch movie, you get one machine, or drama self, get one machine when the doctors they use, when they'll put together the content. If everybody near the patient, the content say clear, they'll come out, they'll come use and put for the person chest. You can't beat the person chest, come out, get up. And that they call defibrillator. But for house, most people don't get that one. So you need to continue to do the compression, and they give the live breath until you take the person reach hospital, or ambulance come carry the person, come use the defibrillator for the person, take wake the person. However, if you do all these things, and the person can't come back to life, can't they breathe well, you go need to put this person in a recovery position. And the recovery position, I be say you carry and make it like that, face a left hand side in a way. Even when you do that one, make sure say doctor still come. You make sure say you still carry that person go hospital, or ambulance still come carry that person go hospital, so that they go check whatever has happened to that person and try to treat every other thing concerning that person wey be one poof from that place. Dr. Fred, I think I've said everything.
Yes. You don't explain everything. Wait till we say when defense, I beg. no be to pour water, because I don't know where we learned that from. Say when somebody faint, oh, and you must pour the person water. If not, if you no pour the person water, the person no go recover. Quite very, very wrong. Abeg, like wetin Dr. Israel talk, you need to know whether the person dey alive. You go check by checking the pulse and check whether the heart dey work. Do you understand? All those things. If you know the work, then you go know, so you go do CPR. Papa, mama, everybody need to do am, because this thing, human being life, e tied to this thing. By the time you dey shout, before time go, that person fit die go. So wetin you do fit also help the person stay alive till the person get to the hospital. Do you get? You can pour the person the whole water, e no go work. And one very important thing wey I wan add, abeg, when somebody faints, lie the person down. No be say you go carry am up, because I know some people go talk say if the person lie down for ground, the person don near ground, e go. Because of that, they wan carry the person sit. Somebody is unconscious, you wan carry am sit down for chair. Abeg, let the person lie flat, and then everything that you can do, you do it there. No be say you go carry the person sit down for a chair. That one, you are worsening the problem. Like wetin Dr. Israel talk, I just say make I show you the recovery position. This is recovery position. The person is breathing, the heart is working. You go turn the person like this, so that any saliva for the person mouth go fit dey come out. Because if the person dey unconscious and saliva gather for the mouth, enter the lungs, e fit also choke the person. So when you put the person in this recovery position like this, you see as e dey, if anything dey the person mouth, e no go fit go inside the person lungs, the airway. Rather, e go dey come out from the mouth. This is very important. Whether you be doctor, you be nurse, or anybody, you must have this information, because life dey tied to this information. You see the thing we can't give you today now, and people know they share. I don't go check now. You know share. After now, you go say, doctor, I want to ask you a question, but you no even want share. Why? No, why? Oh yeah, share and ask us your questions. Now, I believe we have broken it down for you. We spoke about bleeding, we spoke about choking, and then we spoke about CPR. The reason we just talk these few ones, because e plenty, and the little time we get, now we want to talk about this one. Other ones dey. So if you get questions for us on first aid now, we don't talk about bleeding, choking, and CPR, abeg, ask us. But if you ask us anything outside this topic, no vex, we no go take am. Very, very good. Oh yeah, ask us your questions. We talk about bleeding. Say if person they bleed. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and before asking a question they drop, and you remember when Dr. Fred talked about that fencing? Remember, as I talk, I say if the person, you notice, say, okay, I'll just give you one scenario. The one day, I did one place like that, not the hospital. I did one place like that, and we heard one news of somebody when he died. And they just talk the news. One of the person when they with us, they just collapse. And so your folk collapse. Everybody, hey, bring water, bring it. Thank God I did. The night they say, make the shift. May everybody shift. Yeah, because where the person collapse put not be good position. I got to tell them, so okay, Mona, help me carry this person, come where you go feel like down where. They one reason up, I tell them, say, no, not reason up. More carry and go where it go feel like down well, and make breeze the entire body, say it go come back. So you know now, when you dey place where everything now let you know everything, every other, if you not do anything, they go to say, what did this person they do? So as we reach there, I carry her lie down. I was watching her. So I can't notice say it already they blink a eye, like it go soon wake up. It go soon wake up. So what I did was just to apply a little pressure on the chest, and the person you're wake. It goes gunshot for pain. Like no, Dr. Fred, you know what I do now? That's Glasgow's common scanner. Yeah. So I just check, and he responded to the pain. So now he can't just wake up. So I can't say, okay, make it like that. May just remain there for some time before he go. So somebody came and asked me, say, doctor, why you not do CPR? Because I actually taught them CPR some days back before that incident. Say, why do you not do CPR? Why you not just start to decompress the chest? I got to say, no, no, no. You know, just they carry compressed chest. And you need to first of all check if this person they are alive, if this person even merits CPR. So what I do once when the person faint, I first just check the pulse. And the pulse they normal. So I already know say, okay, now the news make this one collapse. Not be say na any other thing. You see they breathe fine. Every other thing about this person see they normal. So what I just need now to put the person for that recovery position and it will get better. Eh? So as Dr. Fred say, not raise the head up because what happen, I be say blood just come out from my brain. Eh? And all that. So with that, the person go your faint. The person go your faint. Okay, so if you get any question, just ask. So make we see how we go to answer them.
Okay, we get question here. You say, what if somebody is electrocuted? What is the right first aid to use? That is electric shock. Okay.
So when the person is electrocuted, I better not go touch the person. Mostly if the person still there inside the wire. It's still there inside where they shock am. Not go touch am, make you not go join am for there. So the first thing when you go do now to go, if the person still there, first thing when you go do now to go look for the source of the electric. That is the main board. Make you switch off the electricity so that make una not get light. So because once you stop the electricity, e no go dey shock am again. True or false? True. So once you don't stop the electricity, you don't remove the person for that place because electricity be like bomb. Sometimes they come like bomb, like somebody wey bomb. So once you don't remove the person from that place, the next thing when you want to do now to carry that person go hospital. If you become say the person don almost dey unconscious, abeg carry that person dey go hospital because e heart don shock. In fact, many things don shock for the person body. So you need to just carry that person go hospital so that they go start to dey give am fluid and try to bring that person back to himself.
Okay. Thank you. Any more question for us on first aid? If you get any question, ask now. Dr. Israel talk am. When somebody collapse, no be to pour water. No be to pour water. Water will not do anything. Anything. E no go do anything. Rather, you just dey waste precious time. Wetin to do na find out the person dey breathe abi e no dey breathe. The heart dey work abi the heart no dey work. No be to say water. I no know who teach you that one. I no know wetin Nollywood where they got that from, but it's quite very, very wrong and needs to be corrected immediately. Can one contact wetin when doing the airway? Can one contact infection? Is that what you're asking? What is that? I don't understand. Okay, Israel, please respond. We are almost out of time. If you get question on first aid, ask us now. We go soon end. Okay, Israel.
They say, can one contact official? I don't understand now.
Is that infection?
Okay, it's infection.
Is that what you are saying?
Yes, it's infection. Is saying okay. Remember I say when I want to talk that aspect, I tell you say okay, there are so many things concerning the mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, mouth-to-mouth live breath. But sometimes you want save person life, you no go want to think of whether you go get infection because there will always be a prevention for that. Also remember say I talk one to say recently we started to say okay, you need to put something to cover the mouth before you give. That na to help protect you, and also all those many talk when people go come talk say you do, whereas not being you be they do. It go physically help to prevent and saying that was not what this person was actually doing. Also, the person fit get injury for mouth. And that's why I say, first of all, you need to clear everything wey dey the person mouth. Even though even denture, all those good teeth wey people dey put for mouth, all this, you need to clear them off so that in the process of doing it, make you not go give the person, make the person not go choke. So infection, yeah, anything is possible. Anything is possible, but you not go to think about that as in the meantime, because um, you're not going to think about that as at that time. So, but anything is possible. Make I stop on like that.
Okay, yes, anything is possible. Remember, during that COVID period, when the COVID was intense, there was a lot of fear. Say, person fit do CPR, fit transfer COVID, or fit carry COVID. During that period. But before that time, the conversation on getting infected, they very, very little. But Dr. Israel talk, anything is possible. So now just for you too, to ensure, say, you protect yourself as you dey try uh, do the rescue breath for the person. Do you understand? That is it.
Also,
Any
also
more
that
questions?
rescue
Yeah.
breath is sorry. Also that rescue breath is not compulsory. So if you think say you not go fit do one, you feel you continue your compression, until you are able to carry that person to the hospital. However, if you feel do the rescue breath, is also very good. Yeah.
Okay. Before we round up, very important. Make we talk here. Um, I know they do private chats. This na disclaimer. I know they do private chats. Some people know they read information. We know they do private chats on social media. We know they give out number. Do you understand? If they're very important, we let you know when they give out number. I did very, very, very concerned about my private space. So anybody where they watch us and you won't collect my number, I take on and beg you. Sorry, you know go get them. Maybe say I hate you or I no one help you, but I no want make anybody call me. Wherever you are, please go and see your doctor. Your doctor. We know they eager to pack patients on social media. See your doctor. If you really, really, really want follow me talk privately or Dr. Israel, you go book for the private time and you go pay for that time. We get boundaries and we dey respect the boundaries on social media. So because say we dey online teaching people like this, no mean say we go just make ourselves accessible to anybody. We get boundaries and we respect that boundary a lot. So no vex. In case you dey send private message and nobody open am, no vex. Na the law be that we know they do am. You dey find number, no, I no go give you because I no want make anybody dey call me anyhow for my life. You understand? If you want talk to me professionally as a doctor, you go book. There's a link on the page. You go book and you go pay for that time. And by the grace of God, we go make the time available for you. This one, they very important. Make we drop and here, make you understand. Thank you for your understanding. Any final question? Any final comment, Dr. Israel? Any final words
The only thing I go say is that um
as we
make we just try to live healthy, because this life don't too hard. So more we live healthy, try to remove everything within our mind, when we not go get depression or mental illness, and it not worth am, because the life itself don't hard, it don't hard pass before. And no saying everything when we dey buy now, it don't be times 4 of the former money when you first dey buy them. So if you think about those ones, can't carry things put for your mind. First, if you run mad before you know what they happen. And I go also want to tell you, say, make you try make sorry, I go also want to tell you thank you so much when you not today when you take they follow us, when you take they listen to talk every Sunday. We not take them for granted. Yeah, we not take them for granted. Um, we really, really appreciate. So you they use your data, take they watch us, and
I guess Dr. Israel network don't you don't hook. You don't hook. Okay. So as we round up, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for listening. I guess Dr. Israel, we sorry. Network don't end. Don't go bad. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. We did very grateful. For those who they watch us for the very first time, this particular program now every Sunday by 8 p.m. West African time. 8 p.m. we day here. We did talk to you 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. 1 hour and we are done. We did very time conscious. And right now is 9 p.m. We have to go. Like I've always tell you, good life now waiting. Tell me, good life now waiting. Good life. Let's go. Good life. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah, Juliet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mentis. Good life now waiting. Comment now. Why you shine? Thank you very much. Thank you, Aja Khadija. Good life. Yes, good life in a sense. Have a wonderful week. Bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.